Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 297 of the Fans of Power podcast. I'm Nathan Kennedy, joined by the man who's finally been conquered by something hot, Joe Amato. More on that later. Ronnie Cycli, super fan, mega fan. Tyler, definitely not He-Man Baker.
Fuck you.
And we're here with a fellow Mondo collector, Rebecca Cox, a.k.a. Newt. Should we just dive right into Joe finally being conquered?
Hey, how come she
By,
don't get slain?
Yeah.
I get slain for being a Ronnie Cycli fan. Joe gets fat lips and she gets a clean break. What the hell? Just because she's a girl.
No, I mean she just.
If she knew who Ronnie Cycli was too, she'd be pissed off too. So
she might like Ronnie Cycli.
bullshit. I don't care if she is in Florida and he used to play for the Heat or Orlando Magic. He still sucks. And she'd say he sucks too.
Yeah, I mean he did suck. I always remember playing
Oh.
NBA Jam. Oh no, you're back.
I'm
You're
back.
good. I don't know what happened
It's
there.
acting
Yeah.
weird. Hopefully it stays on.
Technical difficulties
I
arise.
just hope it
Joe,
doesn't get me out of sync again.
it may, because the whole sync issues with OBS and Skype are kind of weird anyway. But Joe, yeah, you got the booger mask on, so that's like automatic defeat right there. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I'm wearing this mask because I had to do something to the other mask. Quickly, let's say hello to the chat, and then I'll get into this insanity. Pride of Grayskull, Brian Brummagem, Eric Amon, who is the cause of this whole shit, Febmon, Jingle Bellum, Johnny Cock. Go ahead, say it, Nathan.
Johnny Cock.
There you go.
Got it happen, yeah.
Adam Gabbard, Zentron, Eric Sanchez. I'm scrolling down. Let me get to Peanut Butter and Jelly is here. He knows who he is. Daniel Carhoonan. And let me go. I'm almost at the bottom. Sorry. MCDJ. Piss off there, Nathan. Give me a second. JMax77.
Oh.
And Jeff Morris. And Kay Buki. And I think I got everybody if I missed anybody up. Oh, and Grim just popped up asking me if I'm alive. Well, here's the thing. Eric Amon sent me this thing here. So what does that look like if you were to take a guess? I know it's two you might already know, so don't say it. But what would you
Looks
think
like
that
an air,
is?
like a car air freshener.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
exactly the first thing I said, air freshener, because I was holding it here when I opened it and took it out of the box. And Eric was like making fun of me. He's like, "You moron, didn't you even look? It's a magnet." I was like, "Oh, I guess I was covering the bottom where it said magnet." But I thought it was an air freshener too, so I told him, I was like, "This looks like an air freshener, Eric," for the first person to, when you're just seeing it out of the box. So there, Tyler proved it, so piss off, Eric. But anyways, so Eric then sent me what is called Trouble Bubble. It's one of the hottest new challenges going on. It's 16 million Scoville unit. Just by comparison, that hot sauce that Nathan or Rebecca had a few weeks back, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 million. And like I said, I like hot stuff. I've done the Death Nuts, I've done the Pocky Chip, and I think the Death Nut combined might have been 16. I don't know if it was a single nut, but either way, it's different when you chew it up in there, and you can at least swallow and it's gone. But this gum, the challenge was you were supposed to chew it until you could blow a bubble, but as you're chewing it, you couldn't spit out all that saliva. I don't know what happened to Rebecca's camera. Hopefully she'll pop back up. But
It's acting up. I'm sorry.
okay, no problem. Well, anyways, you chew it up and you couldn't spit out the saliva. You had to swallow
You
the
had to
saliva.
swallow. You had to swallow. You couldn't spit, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. So you had to
He
swallow
just
that
keeps
shit.
going
and-
over and over again with spitting and swallowing. I'm like, well, Joe, which is it?
Well, it's coming. There, that's another word. But anyways, you keep chewing. Exactly. You're chewing and chewing, and you had to blow one bubble. I was able to blow two. It didn't affect my throat, didn't affect my tongue, but holy shit, right in the backs, like underneath where your ears could be, maybe your saliva glands, it hit it like people were sticking blowtorches under it. My ears were on fire. My lips were chapped, and I was like, God damn it, I know what's going to happen. They're going to swell up, and you can see them on the screen right there. They got even bigger than normal. They're normally big, but they got a little bit bigger. I was doing this.
I mean, just admire how fucking blurry it is.
Shut up, it's zoomed in.
It's like a picture of Bigfoot.
So
or
listen,
something.
so I was doing this live in the Fans of Power Facebook group, and I was like, I gotta go, I can't breathe, and I clicked it off, and I went, and I must have been gargling with water to spit that saliva out for 20 minutes. When I came back, it might have even been longer. I had just tons of messages, one from Rebecca and a couple others saying, man, you okay? You okay? They really thought something happened because I was like, I guess that wasn't the best way to end my live by saying I can't breathe, and I clicked it off. I had so many messages, and of course, me being ashamed of fucking failing that like crazy, I was like, I fucking deleted the video. But it was the roughest thing. I was like, I don't recommend that to anybody. Like, I like having Nathan and Rebecca do a hot challenge. I don't want anybody doing that fucking gum. That shit was pure concentrated capsaicin into that bubble gum. Sickest thing in the world. It's like, this ain't even fun. So don't try the trouble bubble challenge. Otherwise, your lips might look like mine. Your throat might be worse, but I never had that happen with anything in a hot challenge. So I had to put on this other mask because my one mask that I had cut to where I could blow a bubble through, I was like, I ain't putting that back on. I mean, it's obviously going to see my mouth, plus it's probably fucking on fire. But thank you, Eric Amon, for fucking destroying me. And Eric has another piece, but I told Eric he was going to do it. I was like, Eric, don't you even do it. I was like, I don't even know who he would give it to. I was like, I don't want you to waste it, but don't chew that thing. So Eric has another one. And when he gave me camel's milk, everybody asked me, was like, what does it taste like? I said, I don't know. My taste buds were destroyed during the fucking challenge. It's like, I don't even know. I took one sip at the end. It's like, that was it. I was done. So that's it. Don't do the trouble bubble challenge. It's not worth it at all.
I'm curious, Joe. Would you drink milk straight from the udder?
I know he would.
You know, I've never been on a farm, but I mean, I hear it's fresh.
Joe goes in like Pauly Shore and seen him. This is put this place on the mat. And he starts squeezing milk right into his mouth. But camel, bull. Well, no, bulls. Can't milk a bull. Sorry.
Not bull. That'd be something else.
We don't have a cow. We have a bull. I brush my teeth.
Oh God. So God, what was I gonna say? I felt like it was something else. Oh, Mobile Recluse is here in the chat room, and I didn't send it to Nathan. I might do it later, but I did a custom copycat for him, and it arrived at the same time he got his duplicate. He did a picture of them like together, showed it on Instagram, then he let me share it on Facebook, so people got a real kick out of that. So he enjoyed getting his copycat. I had a pleasure working on it. And I think that was it for anything that happened with me with Insanity. Oh, and also Rebecca sent me, she was kind enough to send me, let me get the bubble wrap out of here. She got two of these Orcos that are those ones I've been looking for in that mini style. But she sent me also, and I got more excited for these than the Orcos. I apologize, Rebecca, but she sent me.
Of course you did, because it's food.
So I ate one of these live, and I think I just took 3 bites and it was done. I had it done in, I don't know, a minute or something. I said I'd probably eat these somewhere during the show, and when I start eating them, I'll take my time. I'll make sure that all 3 of these last longer than 20 minutes. Right. These won't go quick, I promise.
So wait, you're gonna eat all 3 of them during the show?
Yeah, but I'll make sure they last. I'm not gonna be a pig about it. I'll take my time.
Yeah,
why would you eat 3 of those? Jesus
because I've been waiting all week to eat these. Rebecca knows it. I'm starving, and I've been wanting to hold these off for the whole week. It was hard. I wanted to eat them. I don't buy these because these are $1.79 at the gas station. You can't get these cheap anywhere else. Only a gas station sells them. Who can pay for that except Rebecca? But we know she can because she got the Mondo Hordak and everything.
Who can afford $1.79 in these times?
That's a lot of money.
Oh my God.
$1.69. Thanks for joining us. But no, that's a fucking $1.79. Who could keep affording that? And she got me 4 of them. That's a lot of money. That costs more than the Orcos. So again, thanks, Rebecca. But I know she can afford it. Like I said, she's got Mondo Hordak. You got
she had her fiance, eat ramen noodles for about a week to make up for the difference there. But
that's it. But I don't know if she's going to be able to pop up with her camera to show her Hordak. I don't know what's going on.
It's I messaged her. I'm assuming she's still there, but stepped away from the microphone. I'm not entirely sure.
Or maybe the whole feed went out, possibly. I don't know. We're going to see if she pops back up. But in the meantime, Nathan, did you get anything else? Or was that one Mondo Man-at-Arms that you got last week the only recent thing you got?
No, I got Merman.
Oh, Jesus. Wait, you just got him too now?
Yeah. I got Merman last week, but I forgot to show it off, so.
I don't know about Tyler, but this shit makes me sick just watching you with all these big-ass Mondo figures that look more and more awesome each time you have it. And then Rebecca showed her pictures, and I'm sure when she gets on with her camera, we'll see her Mondo Hordak. I think she got the Filmation version. No, obviously, yeah, because she showed.
Yeah, she got the Filmation version. I have the other version on pre-order from Big Bad, so I imagine that will ship out sometime soon, and I'll be like, well, there goes that money. I also, from one of our listeners, obtained Battle Armor He-Man and Battle Armor Skeletor in Classics form. Unfortunately, and it pisses Tyler off so bad because it's only temporary. But the Battle Armor Skeletor didn't have a head, so right now I'm just using that one that's missing the tooth that came with Molar, and it's driving Tyler crazy. He's like, you gotta get another head for it, and I'm like, well, all right, well here's an Alcala head on eBay for $60 fucking. I'm not spending that just for a Classics head. So
I'm assuming you got a deal on him. I mean, since he didn't have a head.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I got it for both. I got a pretty good in Classics terms. I got a good deal. I would say for most people that it's still like kind of pricey, but if you go on eBay and look up Battle Armor He-Man and how much he's going for,
I can't believe that.
I definitely got a deal there.
Oh, while you guys talk for 1 second, I got to look this up because I couldn't even imagine. I didn't know those things would have went for any big amount of money.
Every damn figure, aside from the ones that are still struggling on the Big Bad Toy Store, which there's only I think maybe less than a handful at this point, but I'm still baffled.
$169 for Battle Armor He-Man figure? Are you kidding me? God, I'm just looking at all these prices. This is insane. I didn't know they went that much. Yeah, that's a lot more than I expected. They're going to win it from 169 to 240 something.
I don't get it. I don't get the demand to justify rate. The G.I. Joe collector's line that was just meant for like the made-to-order adult collector line that Hasbro did. All those cost out the ass to get. Like, I mean, just even out of the box, they cost a shitload of money. And like, unless you signed up for it when they came out, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I hate that they continue to underestimate the market and the demand for these characters and those kinds of styles, the sculpts, and it's just like, why do you keep making it harder and harder for fans to obtain stuff? It's like trying to get into a club or a brand new club, but there's no advertising, there's no sign, there's no number, it's unlisted. They don't want people to know about it. Almost, I've never understood that logic. I felt Classics was advertised a lot more than that G.I. Joe adult collector's line was. But,
yeah, I didn't collect the G.I. Joe stuff because I've never had, so I didn't know about that. Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, honestly, I didn't know, like, even when that came out, how that was available.
Yeah, it was so sparse because it's like it was a continuation of the 25th anniversary line that was in stores for a while. And they were making these, made-to-order figures, like really beautiful sculpts. Like somehow I really wish I had gotten in on that, but you had to sign up for it. And I think Classics was still going at that time, so
same time.
You had to pick your priorities, and I certainly couldn't.
Were they more expensive than Classics?
They were in that range. I think when you bought them as is, they weren't far off from the Classics price. I mean, but they came in a nice classic, card backs and fully articulated extra, weapon. I mean, they were really, really nice. Like some of the more obscure characters. They made Slice and Dice. They made the whole damn Ninja Force. Big Bo was made. But if you go look up any of those on eBay, it's you'll find a nice looking one with the middle finger next to it. Because those Nazi assholes are trying to get top dollar for everything that was from the 80s. I'm curious if stuff from the 70s, outside of Star Wars, commands those kind of high prices. Like, is it strictly everyone is fixated on, it's from the 80s, charge out the ass? Does, like, anything else outside of the 80s? Because the early 90s stuff doesn't get charged that much. You could go and buy, like, Toy Biz, Marvel superhero figures, X-Men, Kenner Batman figures.
Yeah. Well, a lot of, not just Batman, a lot of the Kenner stuff is pretty cheap.
Yeah,
too.
It's not else, but it's 90s. If you're talking Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters, or DC Superpowers, you're going to have to.
Real Ghostbusters, there is some cheap stuff, but there is a lot of expensive stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you want the original Ghostbusters with the proton packs, with the streams intact, you're not going to. We'll just say Joe couldn't afford it.
But at that point, you would be better off just buying those re-releases
which is
that
what
Hasbro came out with.
I'm like, I really wish I had my Ghostbusters, but those reproductions are quite nice, and they were well worth paying $15 a piece to get them. So.
Well, we see Rebecca now. Let's see if we can hear her.
Yeah, can you hear me okay? It's just my camera.
Yes.
Twice tonight. It's just shut off for some.
Did your cat just want to be on camera with you? Was that it? She was getting pissed off or something? She was like, I got to be on the show?
No, he was just over there, so I brought him over.
All right, well, you're going to show off now? What's his name?
Duncan.
What's his name again? Duncan. Oh, there you go. All right, show off the Mondo Hordak.
As bad as it was, I'm sitting there, I'm like, there's a joke there. I hope Joe doesn't say it.
I'm nice. I'm not going to be vulgar about that. So let's see your... Oh, yeah, never mind. Show Mondo.
Yeah, see? See?
That does look awesome.
Hordak.
That's pretty damn cool.
John got him for me.
How many hands? Doesn't he have supposed to be a ton of hands too, and all sorts of accessories? He came with a lot of shit, right?
Yeah, he did. This is my favorite one though. Is the cannon arm.
I love the blue shade on there. Like the blue looks amazing on him.
The blue's my favorite too. That's why John got him for me.
Yeah, and I didn't see many people use the cape because I wouldn't display with the cape either. I'd keep the cape off.
The cape is cool, but yeah, with the Filmation version.
Filmation Hordak doesn't need a cape.
That's what I was.
Cape. Yeah.
Plus, this version came with Imp.
Amazing.
That's cool.
He's the only one that came with Imp, so I had to get this one.
I'm jealous. If I easily, I would prefer that one over the one that I pre-ordered, but I'm not gonna go on eBay and try to spend. How much is that one going for?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Six. Well, let's look it up.
John pre-ordered for him at PowerCon for me, so I don't know exactly.
Did you get that extra head that guy said he was gonna toss in there?
No.
That fucking lie.
He came with an extra head? I don't think that
no, at the con, John was like, oh, I really like this version, but I like the other head better. So the guy said he would throw one in there, but he's a busy dude. He probably can't remember the specific order to put an extra head in there, but I don't mind this head at all.
No,
a lot of people don't like it. I don't mind it. I think the only thing is I wish the mouth was open. I think that would change the entire look.
Yeah, at least like with Hordak is just kind of like just looking around. His red teeth are like kind of visible.
Yeah.
But it does look exceptionally good.
Yeah, it does.
Well, if you guys want to get one on eBay, it's only about $500.
Already?
I'm just aching to spend that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm not gonna do that. I'm good with my. How much is he on the one that's on Big Bad?
I wouldn't pay that much for a modern item. It had to be vintage. I would pay $500.
Yeah, I'll stick to my $229.
Yeah, that's about as far as I'm going to go for something in modern day. I just felt like the pay.
Which I mean that price is perfect for the 6 scale. It's not ideal, of course. I'd prefer them to be cheaper, but that's typically that range is like anywhere between 180 to 220 for a 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
I wonder if they might. I think a good idea that Mondo. And if we ever get somebody that works for Mondo or is involved with them, just shoot ideas. I wonder if they'd like to up the production a little bit because those things sell out so quick, and I don't think they realize the demand. I mean, I know when they first showed,
they've done that with their posters for all. I mean, ever since they've done posters, I mean, they have always made a finite amount. It drove me and Nathan crazy because they put out amazing posters, for RoboCop, Turtles, and we find out after the fact, and they're already fucking sold out. You can't get them on the secondhand market at a quality price. So it's almost like that's their business model, is to always undersell but never go back and make it
well to some degree, but I really think they might have underestimated this line. I figured I know they were guaranteeing that they're going for the collectors that have sometimes the big bucks to get this stuff, but they are selling so goddamn quick and more people are talking about them that I think that if they were to slightly up the production, I mean, they definitely make more people happy, but I think, like I said, you see the amount of different characters are being made. They showed what's coming up in the future, and it's not like people are thinking, I don't want to get these. Everybody's like, these are so fucking badass, especially for people that, we've said who have maybe wanted to start getting classics. And just like how you said, Nathan, you're like, maybe I'll start going to the Mondo line,
You know what I should have done is kept track of how much money I've spent to obtain that classics collection behind me. I don't even want to think about it, really, because
I just say keep putting it into Mondo. Whatever they keep putting out, just get the Mondo.
Well, I'm at pretty much the biggest piece now that is missing in that classics collection is a Panther. That's the main thing that I need. Everyone else, it's like Sweet Bee and some of the characters from MYP. That's basically it. So Panther's the main thing.
Yeah,
So,
you didn't get Montana though yet, right?
no, I have Montana.
Okay, so you got Cobra Kai, you got a sorceress.
Yeah. Yes.
And you got Fista's knocked off the list. Just
Yep.
and Stinkor, you got Stinkor, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, then I guess it is right. You have Panther outside of the lower tier Princess of Power characters.
Well, the only Princess of Power character I'm missing is Sweet Bee.
You got
That's it.
Perfuma.
Yep.
And I can't believe you pulled the trigger on her.
Nah. Gotta get them all,
I
right?
don't know. Some of those,
Was it the
like,
price of her, or just she wasn't your favorite?
I mean, honestly, the vast majority of those characters, I was just kind of like, but it reaches a certain point where you almost feel like it's not complete until you pretty much
You
have
got the Star
everybody.
Sisters too?
Yeah.
God, I wish I had to buy those because only Tall Star was the only one I thought looked genuinely good out of that lot. But
Tall Star's my favorite Star Sister too.
yeah, she looks the hottest. But I mean that was one of those times where it was part of the line where you were forced to buy it. Like you had no choice. If you signed it, you were forced to buy that damn. And it was at the time a very expensive 3-pack. So on top of that, the monthly figure. Son of a bitch.
So I guess in a way it's even though the prices are higher, fucking Joe. Even though the prices are higher, I guess it may be better in the sense that I can pick and choose. I'm not forced to get anything if I don't want to.
Yeah, which I can't remember. Rebecca, were you subscribing at the time Classics was a full-time line?
Nope, I was completely broke at that time, and I was kick myself every day for not. I remember looking at them and like, oh, that's so cool. And I remember back then, I forget how old I was. When was that? 2008?
I think it started in 2008. I remember because 2008.
How old was I? I think I was still in my
30?
teens. I was still in my teens, and I was just
No,
like,
Joe, you were 30 10 years ago, Joe.
and I just
Actually,
remember thinking
no,
like, oh, that's
I would be
expensive
lying.
for an action figure, and I'm like, now
Yeah,
I'm
because
just like,
when
kicking myself
Beastman
every
came out, I think
goddamn
he
day.
was like 20 or 25 bucks.
Exactly, and I remember thinking back then that was expensive for an action figure.
Well, yeah, and it
I'm
was
like,
because I was working at a grocery store at the time, so that was to commit to that one purchase. I'm like, wow, man, I did it.
So no, I'm in the same boat Nathan is, where I'm just spinning an arm and a leg for him.
I'm just glad that I'm pretty much done. And I see here that Jingle Bell's like Panther's 150 on eBay.
No.
Bullshit.
There's no way.
No way.
I've
I've been looking. Trust me.
Yeah,
no.
it was like
$100.
$100.
Probably
No.
what, 300-400?
Maybe a starting bid at 150, but hell no. If I could get a Panther for $150, I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going for 300 right now. Right now is how much Panther's going
Wow.
for. Yeah. $300. So if anybody out there has an extra one, or you want to part with it and you want to sell it for $150,
Yeah.
I'm your man. I deal. Sold. I was telling these guys before we started the show that I did spend some money today, and I have a Sagittar on the way with the box, and the figure is pristine, so I can't wait to put that on the shelf
Nice.
with the new Adventures Classics.
Yeah, I have mine with the box too. What do you think of that? And it's pristine too.
You just sit there and enjoy your $2 candy bar.
I'm saving
Does
this
it taste
last
better
one.
when it's expensive like that, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you've already eaten 2 of them?
Yeah, but I said I'll make them last 20 minutes.
God,
This
what
last
a glutton, man.
Well,
How are you not 500 pounds, by the way?
Probably like chocolate smeared on his mouth like lipstick, you know.
a high metabolism, but I'll make this one last. I'll eat this in like 15
I know.
20 minutes.
Last week I took me like 20 minutes to eat mine.
No, 20 minutes to eat one candy bar? You gotta be lying. Are you lying?
When you
were there.
think about it.
I was just nibbling on it here and there.
Oh, you were
I
in
think
it
Joe
one
was
night.
foaming
Yeah.
at the mouth and just watching her eat it. He wasn't really thinking about how long
Yeah.
it's to keep going. Keep it going.
Like
Joe.
You know,
food anger. Yeah.
that's what I imagine. Like Joe probably doesn't watch porn.
No,
He
watches
probably
Food
just
Network.
watches video of people eating.
Like, oh God. I'll tell you what. I'll admit No, I mean not like that, but I did watch the. What was that? Some guy was eating Popeye's chicken and then ate some chicken called Jollibees, and they had this thing called ASMR, so you can hear the crunch. I was like, God damn, does that sound crunchy and good? And he was eating a whole bucket of chicken. I was like, I want a bucket of chicken. I want some chicken. Oh god damn, that shit got me hungry. So yeah, I'll admit that. Yeah, chicken. Son of a bitch.
So then
Ow,
Joe just goes into the kitchen and just starts like breaking off pieces of ramen noodle and just like, well, if I think about it hard enough, maybe it'll.
He eats it
like...
raw. He eats it just like right out of the wrapper, like it's
apparently
a candy bar.
that's pretty good. I don't think I could do that, but apparently it's pretty decent. I don't know, Joe.
No, I mean I've
I'm
never.
sure
Just,
you've done it a time or
no,
two.
I've never just ate ramen noodles.
Like you
just
probably
to eat
cut
it.
your cheek or your gums trying to eat it raw like that. But
Yeah, that
was
just
a raw dog.
doesn't
It is
sound-
going
I
raw.
fried ramen noodles before in butter. That's actually pretty. That's good.
Of
Wow.
course you did.
But it does taste good. Well, let's get off the food talk. And Tyler, let's get into the episode that you picked, which this is a great episode to discuss. Pawns of the Game Master. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a highly underrated classic for sure. It's an episode I think fans like. It's certainly not one that is celebrated as much as it needs to be. But I feel like there's a
Yeah.
shitload of episodes that are not, which is where we come in.
Now, I would
Yeah,
say,
like-
Tyler, I didn't really navigate through the He-Man websites back in the day, so I didn't know. Are you saying that nobody really talked about this episode at all or something?
It's always problem with power. You know, they mention Teela's quest, which obviously speaks for itself. You know, they'll mention shitty episodes like Greatest Show in Eternia, Diamond Red Disappearance, like certain episodes, House Chakotay. You see
Wait, they'll
episodes
mention the greatest show on Eternia, but they don't even talk about this?
but
Are
they
you
mention
kidding?
because it's like fun to mention the silly dumb episode. Like
Oh.
I think you guys are laughing at almost like you fuckers secretly like this shit. You know, it's like the same like mentioning Plundor. Like, oh my god, he sucks. He's not funny. It's not cool. It's not clever because he's dumb. It sucks. You know, but excuse me. But Pawns of the Game Master was just not. Occasionally you'd see, oh, okay, this is where I get pissed off. Is that they would show some goof, the same goof that probably see a picture of the elderly man from Curse of the Spell. Something. Hey everyone, did you know Eldor was in the cartoon? He was like in the first season. Like, you dumb motherfuckers.
Wait, who said that?
Just people say it because of the
people would do this
similarities.
over the years. They would act like
Just
they found, like,
some dumb fuck.
who doesn't, things like, oh my god, I've got to let the people know I've discovered that Eldor was it. Like, no, you dumbass. But you would see it a lot. And
They're they're hoping they're talking to somebody who's never watched the cartoon show in their life,
Oh, and I would
so
say
that somebody
I
who would
take a poll,
believe that.
and I'm sure some people did, but I would only read it to a certain extent because people would correct it. The genius that posted it said, no, that's not Eldor. Eldor wasn't conceived until much later on, dumbass.
Right.
But from this episode, they would take a picture of the Huno and say, hey, everybody, did you know Panthro was in He-Man? Her.
Even though this was out before Thundercats with this episode,
Yes,
correct?
and it's just like,
And he
we
had
get
4
it.
arms, so it's like.
Yeah, he had 4
Yeah.
arms and just had gray skin. and
But I see where they're coming from with that.
Yeah,
because
there's
the
a
head is
similarity,
very-
Similar.
but it was just
clearly
like the same
not.
damn joke over and over again. Hey, everybody, did you see Panthros and He-Man? Her. See, shit like that makes people who are into toys and comics and movies. That's the stereotype because you have assholes out there trying to be all silly and goofy and like geek humor. It makes you just you're what gives this culture a bad name when you post stupid shit like that.
I'm glad
I
you
just
picked this
can't-
episode, though, because this pretty much, if anybody's never seen this episode, definitely watch it, because it puts to rest a lot of rumors, or at least thoughts people know about Masters Universe when they say, Teela really didn't do much in the cartoons ever, or Teela was a damsel in distress, and Adam never did nothing, and Orko was always a bumbling magician, never did nothing right. I was like, watch this episode, let's see what you think then. Because in this one, you get none of that. You don't get Orko at any time fucking up a spell. Orko's doing everything perfect. It's like, see, Orko isn't somebody who's, oh god, I'm pitiful, I'm worthless, I'm no good. It's like, he's badass. Look what he did the whole episode. He was always doing stuff. Adam drop kicking, doing shit, trying to save the day. Teela nonstop, wanting to kick ass and kicking ass at times. Like, what would you get out of this episode that you think you wouldn't have got? You got everything. And it just debunked all these stupid ass stereotypes or things that people think they know about Masters Universe in one episode. One episode. They need to fucking watch this, but Go ahead, I'll
But
pass
they're
it
not
back to
going
you
to.
guys.
It's so much more easier to talk to the masses that you know, because everyone wants to be a connoisseur of everything. It doesn't matter what it is. You can be a connoisseur of Spider-Man. You can be a connoisseur of Batman. Be a connoisseur of the Transformers. Hoping to God that there's a shitload of others out there just like you who really don't know the difference and can just go along with what you're saying. But that's why I just like to steer clear of all those morons. I just like, I'm not. No, other people can deal with it. I don't want to.
Well, I maybe it's just because I always looked at it differently. And I want to say this to anybody that's watching us and, agrees with our opinions for the most part. And if you don't, whatever, that's cool too.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I hope that even if you do and you're encouraged to go watch this if you haven't and you agree with what we think about, always check things out for yourself and do your own research and form like your own kind of opinion. Never go on and try to like leech on to someone else and just be like, well, they said it, so this is what it is. And I mean, because no matter what Joe says, we're not like the end all be all like of the property, right? And I'm surprised that so far we haven't gotten like a comment and just be like, you assholes don't know shit about nothing, but
I didn't say we're the end all be all. I said I am.
please, someone do
everything.
that. Someone do that as a joke. Make that comment down there so Joe will get all flustered and get pissed off and be ready to go fight somebody.
The moral of the story was targeting me, them some bitches at the end. Did you remember the moral of this fucking story about playing with others and if you lose and don't be spoiled?
It reminded me of you because when Orko's talking about being boastful about winning, that reminds me of you. Because I know you were that kid because you're like, look at my Spider-Man jacket. Let me tell you how I won it. I'm the best video gamer of all time. And I played video games with this man, and he's got to walk you through the whole thing. I'm like, Joe, I do know how to play video games. And that's when he gets all smart-ass, and he's like, oh, well, do you? It sure as shit doesn't look like it. I've watched you stream video games, and you suck.
But I'm a good. I swear to God, I never bragged if I beat somebody in a. So I was a good sport, and yeah, if I screw up on something, I get mad. But I really was a good sport. Rebecca, let's pass it to you. Your thoughts. Get some thoughts on.
I like how he's just like, I don't talk about me.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Oh, this is such a good episode. I'm so glad you picked this episode because everything you guys pointed out. One thing that I always like about it, probably because I'm a girl and I'll embrace that, was the dynamic between Tila and Adam in this one. Where you really get that sense of that she loves him, There's that great scene at the end where she's asked what a perfect man would be, and she said the courage of He-Man and the wit of Adam. Yeah, I really like that part of it.
Yeah, there's a good thing. That's all thanks to Paul Dini. Paul Dini just knew how to add, even though he's ashamed of this show. He just always knew how to add so much to the mythology. Oh God!
Yes. Is it open in like a video interview or like just a website? Like, where did you see this?
Well, not only from the BCI, the initial DVD release that came out where they interviewed people who wrote the episodes. Paul looks very uncomfortable and unhappy to be talking about He-Man, and then others who have been around him, have often said too, he's not very happy to talk about He-Man. Like he's just not.
God, why?
That's bizarre.
I don't know. Yet when he was on Kevin Smith's podcast, that when they go over He-Man, he doesn't speak malicious about He-Man like it's an embarrassment. But I kind of got the vibe from some of those guys that worked. I don't know if Bruce Timm thinks that way about it. Working on He-Man. I know these guys want to do bigger and better things, but I know Paul Dini is not too proud of it. But I also don't know if he's heard a whole lot from fans who like, look, you don't understand. You added so much, whether you like it or not. You added so much to this mythology that we're still carrying on today. And if he can't be proud of that, and he's a very talented writer. We know what he's done with Batman. So, but. And I know to him it's just he's actually interviewed about this particular episode as well, and he just kind of plays it off as like, I just don't like the kind of tradition. I think he referenced like Star Trek or something like that, or something along the lines where the hero is put into an arena having to fight for his life kind of thing.
What's wrong with that? Come on, Paul. What's wrong with that?
If you just go watch the interview on the DVD, he doesn't sound like Larry DiTillio. is enthusiastic about what he did. Michael Reeves is enthusiastic. Lou Scheimer's very enthusiastic. Everyone else who's interviewed for those DVDs that worked on He-Man is quite enthusiastic, or even if they're very old and don't have a lot of, energy, they seem very happy and sincere that it's so awesome that people still love He-Man to this day. And Paul just kind of sits there like, yeah. Do I get paid now? He just kind of had that, and it sucks. It really does.
Yeah.
Suck,
It's disheartening, especially when there's people that worked on the stuff that you loved growing up, and then some of them don't have that same enthusiasm, or some said, "Oh, well, it was kind of a paycheck." It's like, oh, it hits you, because you assume they had a love for it, but for some of them, it was kind of just a job, and I think they need to hear from a lot. Yeah, if they hear from more fans, maybe that are passionate and what it really meant to them, maybe it would change some of their minds. That's it.
Yeah.
I actually had the nerve to try and reach out to Paul Dini. It just shows you what a ego I had like way back when. Like, I'm gonna get Frank Langella, I'm gonna get Paul Dini, I'm gonna get them all. No other He-Man podcast is gonna do what I've done. And I never even got so much as a "Hey kid, beat it." I was hoping to get something back, but I didn't get jack shit back from Paul.
Let's
Dini.
talk about that signature, that autograph you never got. No, that's cruel.
What? Which autograph?
The one for your Alan Oppenheimer.
No, I didn't get the autograph.
He
I know,
got
but
the autograph.
I know. I just meant you didn't get what you wanted on it, but at least Thomas got it for you. So, but you didn't get it when you asked.
I still wish I could have pulled a George Clooney and said, you old bastard. I want my fucking autograph, you old bastard.
Well, Tyler, while I quickly finish this third bar, why don't you tell everybody...
I thought you were gonna fucking take your time. It's like 15 minutes.
It's been 20 minutes.
The damn thing.
It has been 20 minutes.
My God.
Shove it in there.
That's not been 20 minutes. It's like 10 minutes.
Just shove it in your mouth and swallow it.
Yeah.
Put it in your mouth. Oh, God, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, get some more stuff on your mask.
And that happened, yeah.
But no, Tyler, I do want to hear.
What stuck out to me the most as a kid, and I remember this on VHS. I didn't rent it as much because Skeletor. It came with the Return of Granomir, and I would look at the back in the box, like the colors on it were different than the rest of the He-Man VHS tapes. And knowing that Skeletor wasn't the villain in either episode, I didn't rent it that much because that's how I made my choice for the weekend. If Skeletor wasn't the villain. I don't know about this. I'm not feeling this episode. But when I did rent it, and I really got to appreciate the Game Master's goons, Bear Man, Insect Man, and the Humanoid.
It sounded like you said Gay Master, not
the Game Master. Yeah, the Game Master.
Yeah. Which, I bet that there's probably someone out there that like looks at Game Master's outfit and be like, huh, Game Master, more like it. The same jerk offs who want to sit there and paint Prince Adam as gay because he wears, I have a pink gym tank top I wear. You're saying there's something wrong with that? What is it with dudes that are so worried about wearing pink? I don't understand it.
I think for like growing up, there was a stigma that if you wear pink, even though I had like neon pink clothes when I was a kid, like T-shirts with like skateboarders and stuff like that on there. Yeah. But I think a little bit older, it's like that's feminine if you wear pink, and you get a little bit older.
I can see boys thinking that when they're like 13 and insecure, but once you're a man,
that's the mentality. Like because when you're growing up, everyone's trying to say that you're not a man. That we're all struggling to become men, and the last thing you want to hear is like some jerk off at the pop collar saying he's a dork, he ain't a man, or just constantly questioning your manhood. What I'm sure girls are trying to give each other eating disorders. I don't know what do they do, Rebecca?
Oh my God.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah.
They'll tell you look butch, or the opposite. They'll say you look butch.
Well, black and red have always been my favorite colors ever since I was a kid. Oh, I was obsessed with black and red. And blue, and a little bit of... I don't know. This was off my rock.
All right. Well, Joe, what's your stance on wearing pink? Do you got any pink T-shirts or anything like that?
I don't have any, but I wear anything. It's just fucking clothes. Clothes is clothes, as long as it's just a regular T-shirt.
I can see Joe doing that.
5-pack of pink T-shirts with a pocket. You'd buy it, right?
I mean, if they were a dollar.
For me,
If
it's
they
all
were a
about
dollar.
the price. I've gotten some crazy cheap shit. That's like, what are you wearing? Like, you guys made fun of me where I talk about, I bought a dress shirt. You're like, it's not a dress shirt. It's a polo.
It's not.
Well, for me,
that was
it's considered dressy.
polo
Anything beyond a t-shirt is dressy to me. I was like, look at me.
Anything that has stains on it is a dress shirt.
Wear it next week. We're gonna have a special guest next week. I won't say who it is, but I'm gonna wear that dress shirt and show you how nice and proper I look. It has two.
Oh man, please, Joe, get a clip-on tie.
It does. It has 2 buttons. It has a collar. I'm like, this thing looks fancy. And it was only $1.
Clip-on bow tie. Do a clip-on bow tie, please. That would look great with your mask.
The bow tie's a smart look. You know, you see people at Virginia Tech wearing bow ties, like professors, like Larry David is right. It is a smart look, you know. And you see Joe wearing a bow tie when he goes to Dollar Tree.
I will try to
tie. I don't know how to tie
like a handful of flowers to go pick up his day. He's wearing like a bow tie. It looks like a gentleman caller with like his like little hat that he takes off.
I don't see Joe being like a gentleman, like picking up a woman on a date. I can see him just showing up, like holding his car door on there, and she's like looking out the window, and he's like doing this, and she opens the door, and he's just like, "Hey, come on, get in. If I turn this thing off, it might not come back on."
It is fun to envision what
Let's go to Popeyes.
Joe's date with Joe would be like, you know, like what? You know, does Joe pick her up? Does he meet her at McDonald's? Like, he's like, yeah. Like,
I have left the car running before because
does Joe kiss on a first date? And he's
God,
like, baby, I don't do that in a first date. I you know, he saves his mouth for eating. You know,
yeah, his mouth is tired.
Yeah,
his mouth is tired.
Yeah,
I had the car though running.
I just want to go home and eat Popeyes.
It has conked out at times. My car has done that, so that does fucking worry me.
On a date?
No, I'm just in general. So I would be probably
like Karate Kid when Daniel's mom's car's constantly breaking down a lot.
Exactly.
All right,
it happens all the time. Remember, it happens all the time. Pushing the car. All right, and they jump in.
That's the first date
His face that he made when he slammed that door when he had to get out to fucking push that car. He looked so disgusted in front of the rich parents. That would be me. I'm Daniel, moving to a fucking fancy or a different area than going with somebody in a rich neighborhood.
Oh my god! Could you imagine Joe, like in that like going to Encino,
California.
Yeah.
God,
Oh,
I would be
man.
so out of my element in a rich area. Oh, that would be awkward. Something like that. Oh yeah, that would be kind of uncomfortable. God, how the hell
Well, before we get back to the 3 goons of the Game Master, there, Joe, what is your what's your go-to for a first date with a young lady there? Like when you want to impress the girl, you take her to Dollar Tree first. And shower her with gifts, or you take her to dinner first, and then to Dollar Tree.
Come on, baby. Anything in the store, you pick it out. It's yours.
I have such a way with words. Like I said, you know me and how I interact with people. I make people feel so comfortable. But yeah, it ain't gonna be a fancy restaurant, but it's because.
And then that's how they end up on the floor like the rest of those hookers.
It will be a Popeyes. It'll be something like Taco Bell. It could be Red Robin.
Oh
Now, do you make her pay or do you pay?
I pay. I actually will pay. So I am a gentleman.
Joe's got coupons. That's why he can pay.
But I tell you,
almost spit my drink out on that one.
But no shit, it's like we're gonna go out to a fancy restaurant and have steaks and stuff. I get tons of money.
He looks at what coupon could buy the most food for that night, and that's where we're going, baby.
Look at this.
I like how Joe's like, I like how Joe is like, we can't go to the steakhouse because he's got that whole thing and he has to eat with his hands, and you can't go savage on the
freak her out on the first date. Yeah, exactly, on the first. Maybe if it could ever happen, then they're like eting with steak. It's like, who gives a shit? Because
what is she?
She's hoping like, Joe, are you that aggressive with your hands and all of the time? She goes, what do you mean? She's just completely oblivious to her sexual advances, and with the like blood dripping down his mouth. He drinks a bottle of A1.
I swear to you, like I said, I can make people enjoy the cheapest of shit, and you'd feel like you were eating like a queen.
I think they're just trying to be nice.
No,
I just think they're being nice.
No,
there's not a look of disappointment on their face when they're like, "All right, we're going to Taco Bell," and they're like, "Oh."
If you would see me how I interact with people, well, you know, like I'm just really outspoken. I'm fun, but it's just a way.
How would I know, Joe? The only time I talk to you is when we're doing the show,
or when I'm cussing you out in messages. Yes,
or when you're cussing me out in messages.
This guy's a gentleman. He's calling me a fuckhead and a shit lip every 3 seconds on fucking Facebook. But I really am a nice guy. But yeah, it's nothing but the best from then on. But oh Christ,
it's only the best 5-layer beefy burritos.
Or Joe, do you invite him over to your place to cook him, food in the microwave from Dollar Tree, like one of those?
Or chicken gizzards.
Yeah.
Check this out. Got
Because
these
nothing gets a woman hotter than chicken gizzards fried in butter, baby.
I'm sure that Joe wants to want to know. Like, I'm a great cook. Like, just like you just come over, bring your appetite. I'll take care of everything else.
It's fucking chicken gizzards and ramen.
He's got,
chicken,
like,
yeah,
flowers
with
on the
ramen.
table
And for dessert, butter and Reese's Pieces.
Oh my
Exactly.
God, yeah. Reese's Piece on the butter cob.
Have it in a glass on the table, looking all fancy. One of those dollar champagne glasses that they have at Dollar Tree. I put it in like, oh, look at that. Just take a
It's
sip
not
out
even
that.
glass, it's plastic.
Plastic. Yeah, they click them together.
You call it glass stick. It's a combination of fake glass and plastic. You got
And then he,
I so want to record a date with Joe. Like we
Yeah, me
we just
too.
go on secretly while he's trying to put the moves on this girl and just see how long it takes for her to decide she's gonna throw up. And
yeah.
Oh,
Or when they're there and things are getting hot and heavy, and Joe all of a sudden gets kind of like nervous, and he has to like go take a dump or whatever, and he's
Or
like, "I'll be
"I don't
right
have
back."
money for condoms.
Yeah.
I'll do it raw, baby. Trust me. I know how. I'll pull out.
And he just goes and gets
I
like
can't afford it,
saran
baby,
wrap
right
or
now
something.
Anyway, you're safe with me.
let's get back to
I think Joe's a big proponent of the saran wrap method.
Yeah, or aluminum foil.
Yeah. Oh, he tried that. Where's this going?
It
Jesus
made
Christ.
us really irritated on the inside there, right, Joe?
So, Tyler, let's get back.
You never do that again since
He
the
calls
great.
it a steak
cut-
wrap.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Well, what
Well,
made you?
there's an
pick
image.
this-
you
What
can't
made you
get
pick
out
this
of my
episode,
head.
Tyler? Go ahead.
Jesus
In particular.
Christ.
What-
Well, no, I was gonna say too, like when he gets real nervous and he like goes and
He
has
probably
to go take a
farts.
dump, but yeah, but he's like, oh, hey baby, like any candy bar there,
It's true.
here's this.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Some nice Denny candy bars. He's like,
But then he comes back and she's eating the whatchamacallit, and he's like, that's $1.79. Yeah. Date's over.
I said the dollar
sitting
box. The
outside,
dollar.
she had her clothes off, and he doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't give her cab fare, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh man, God, we could have so much fun doing a sitcom of Joe as a single man on
I
the
know.
dating scene. And it would be so cheap to film it. It'd be a low. I mean, Roger Corman couldn't make something of the quality we're going to do because we could do cheaper than him.
I just
God.
picture myself after I throw her out and she's out there half naked, and I'm sitting there in my bed like, God damn, that bitch was eating my whatchamacallit. And she starts
And he's licking the wrapper. Licking the wrapper.
Yeah,
oh shit.
completely oblivious that she was wearing
Oh,
the
Christ.
flick panties at him with a skid mark in him. He's like, I was saying that scene in Jaws 4 where she flicks her panties at Lance Guest. Like, it would be great if there was a skid mark on there.
God.
That would be something Joe goes to the bed and you see this big skid mark in the back of his underwear there. I'm like, what you see, baby?
Wait, no. It's like the scene in Showgirls. It's
Oh,
like so
yeah,
she's
he's
out so
calling
no
Rock.
so she's out there naked in like his kiddie pool that he has in the backyard, and then Joe just moves into frame in his tidy whities, and there's just the
Skid mark. That's what you see, the big shit stain in there. Joe's wearing his
shit.
plastic glasses out there. With his Welch's, cider shit,
Swirling it around
fancy.
and smelling it.
Yeah.
Ah.
I gotta let it breathe here, baby.
Would he even go that far? Wouldn't it just be like grape crush soda? No, he doesn't drink soda, so maybe that would check out a little bit.
Great Kool-Aid. Or flavor.
Great-
No, it'd be great Flavor Aid.
See,
Hey, baby,
works
you like
perfect.
Toastums for breakfast?
It's Toastums, the brown sugar ones yesterday.
We got.
You ain't
Toast
going
them.
to get brown sugar. You're getting the generic strawberry with no frosty or anything like that.
I do. I think I still
You
might have a
bastard.
couple down. Did I finish it? If I still had that box, I was gonna go downstairs to show you. I have them. I have Toastums,
I know
brown
you
sugar.
Oh, my
got 'em.
God.
I know you ain't bullshitting that.
Oh shit.
Man, I want
What
to talk
hat?
about Insect Man, Bear Man, and Humanoid. Man, we're just talking about Joe and his skid marks.
Yeah, let's
What
get back
happened?
to the. Yeah,
What
let's get back
happened
the
to
show.
this
I
show?
don't
We
know.
need
It's fun
to write a
talking
Joe
about Joe on a date.
sitcom. We need to write this. We need to make this happen.
How you doing,
We'll
M3
call-
reviews? I hope you're enjoing the insanity that we've just been going through for
Oh,
10
I know
minutes.
what we call it Joe because I was going to introduce you like this last week. The American Cheap Ass Kid Sock.
I can do that.
And, based off your bloody sock episode. It'd be great.
Good. I can work with that. I am
We
cheap,
know
but
you
it
can.
works.
But then he just pulls, like, you know how the Red Hot Chili Peppers on some of their sets would just go out there naked with just socks on their dongs?
Oh yeah, there's Joe.
I could see Joe doing that, but it's a bloody sock, and people are like, man, what's wrong with
And
you?
it's just completely just hanging down to this all to the left.
Oh shit!
It's
Well,
not
Tyler-
actual size there, baby.
Back to the show. Go ahead. What,
Trying to fill this thing out.
Joe would have a crooked penis.
thanks. But in particular, what made you
Hey, Rebecca.
What happened
my
to the show?
cheeks hurt from laughing so much.
All right. Go ahead, Tyler. Back to the show. We'll try to get back on my idea. What made you pick Pawn of the Game Master, anyways?
Okay.
Well, let's talk about the Gay Master some more.
Well, the villains always really stuck out to me a lot as a kid. Like I liked the reptile guards that the Game Master had, the humanoid. What?
It still sounds like Gay Master. I'm sorry, that's just how it sounds like.
I'm still laughing at the last conversation.
I guess it will take a while to kind of get ourselves regrouped there. I hope everyone else at home is enjoying this. And I just, oh
hope
my
so,
God,
too.
but you guys.
Get on with it already. It's my only day off this week, damn it. I'm going to have fun.
Yeah, cut loose. We only do this once a week. Let's make it worth our while, and hopefully everyone else's too. But I think the humanoid, like in particular, because characters with the forearms was something we didn't see that much in He-Man, so that always really stuck out to me as a kid. And I remember trying to come up with names for the characters when I watched the episode because they're not name checked. None of them are.
Mm-hmm.
Had no idea until James's first edition of his book came out. I had no idea it was Humanoid, Insect Man, and Bear Man. So I was coming up with the Bear Man Kodar, like Kodiak Bear, Insector.
That's a better name. That's a way better name.
Yeah, maybe they're just placeholder names. Maybe that's just kind of what Paul Dini wrote on the page, and they just came up with a bear walking upright, you know?
It's kind of like when you see the credits in movies where it's just like man in store or something, you know?
And kind of like Nemesis Enforcer in the G.I. Joe movie. Like, I really felt like that was a placeholder name and not necessarily the name for the character. But I just thought they were fascinating. You know, they have a cool look, like especially the Insect Man as a robot or a cyborg, or you know, you're not really kind of. He's enslaved.
I'm surprised they went with Insect Man when I seen that. You know, like you said, when we seen the names from when James showed it, because it was always just like some weird kind of robot. Yeah, an insect type creature, but I got always more of that. You know,
it's a cricket.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great.
Yeah,
I really
didn't talk or anything. Just the cricket noise was the only sound you heard when he was going to attack or something like that. Which was
Bearman was my favorite out of that trio though of those villains. You know, for the Game Master.
Because there's certain shots like when they attack the palace and Bearman jumps down and then Humanoid and Insect Man leap up to the top of the wall. Like it's a cool visual of the three of them. And Bearman has that Beastman growl. So they have a lot of really cool moments, and when they attack He-Man at the beginning as well, the animation of Humanoid grabbing a hold of He-Man, and he's all four arms around him, and He-Man's just like trying to throw him off. And
lots of unique animation for that episode too.
It is.
Yeah, that was a great scene. Them attacking He-Man at the beginning.
It looks awesome. It could have gone on so much more longer. I really wish He-Man had done one-on-one battles with all three of them, but he just takes all three of them all at the same time, essentially.
That would have been a great two-parter. If they could have did a two-parter on that, that could have worked to get more of it. I think that would have been nice.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have stretched that out for 2 parts. Easily.
Oh, they could have made it 2 parts. I mean, they could have had it. It ends with when Adam walks away from Orko and Cringer to go get Tila back. That's when the episode ends.
That's what this is about to say. When Tila gets taken, that's a great cliffhanger.
And then the second part could have been nothing but arena battles. Like, all right, now you got to compete against Humanoid. Now you get to take on Bear Man. And then Kregox the Terrible, once Adam has gone through, the 3 henchmen. Like, oh my God, man, we did it again. We just made a great episode even better. How do we do it, people?
It happens every time. That's what it means when we spitball and do it. Every time it happens. You don't need to have 10 days to come up with a shitty script or something that's gonna suck. It can just happen naturally when you got passionate fans that will love this stuff. No, I mean I love this. The whole goddamn episode. I even like the part again to prove more about how Tila's worth and how she was not worthless or always the damsel in distress or we already know what she likes. Oh fuck! I mean half the time she's.
Oh, the chick who voiced her in the last one.
Yeah, you didn't think much of her, and she was nothing. Like, did you watch this fucking cartoon, Sarah Michelle? Did you watch this cartoon? Of course they didn't watch the cartoon,
Oh,
but she
she
was
backtracked
fucking
on that, by the way.
Oh, of course they do. They always got to backtrack on their comments. But I mean, you even see at one point when the game master said, maybe Tila's the one that he would choose as being the one.
Exactly.
And I like this. Like he sees the value. Like, goddamn. Oh wait, even better. How about we have you and He-Man fight? Wouldn't that be something? The two greatest warriors on Eternia. That's how much he values seeing her. So it just shows the importance of Tila. And, of course, in the episode, I mean, I like how she just dismissed, just threw fucking Bear Man, remember, into that cage herself quickly like that. And, of course, then she got, caught. But still, she wasn't stopping all the way through. She was there to fight along with everybody. I think they did everybody justice in the episode. Nobody looked like they were being demeaned or put down or less than or shit. They all did a great job.
And the villains are menacing. They don't come off as just, quick rollovers. And does anyone see any kind of similarity between the Game Master and Negator? Negator wanting people to compete in his it's a video game world, but he's watching them fight for his amusement, much like the Game Master is more combat. But I always felt there was a fun similarity between those two characters.
I see what you mean. I always like the episodes or any type of cartoons, comics where they'd have people fighting for somebody's entertainment, whatever it may be.
I wanted to revisit the Game Master too. Hell, I even had an idea years ago of making him like part of an origin for the son of He-Man character, like Dare taking off and your friend's Lizard Man, and gets enslaved by the Game Master. The Horse takes an interest in buying fighters from the Game Master, and I just thought it was such a cool way of bringing the Game Master back.
I'm sorry, my brain, right when you said that about people being enslaved and used as workers, what was that one where in the background they had somebody that looked like a Lizard Man and Bear Man, and they were by a conveyor belt doing some shit underground with, what the fuck was that? Come on,
there's a sequence in She-Demon and Phantos where slaves are on a conveyor belt. Lizard Man's in that with the,
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you're thinking of.
All right, that's what I was thinking. I knew I seen something similar when you were just, okay.
Yeah, those arena episodes are perfect for an action show. Because just without rhyme or reason, you can have people fight, which is what's awesome about action shows.
It's what we want to see. We want to see these characters kick each other's ass. And it doesn't happen a lot, but we got the arena, which is a great episode. It's not necessarily an arena based, but it's called the arena. And then you got the games, which is one of the most embarrassing episodes of the series of competing, Fisto versus Spikor in a real shitty episode.
Poor Spikor never got any real justice.
It's unfortunate. It has never failed. Any character that I did get to see as a child, and I would I want to know what they sound like in the cartoon. I want to know what he sounds like in the cartoon. I finally get around to hearing and went, oh my god, he sounds like shit.
Oh, that was terrible.
I couldn't wait to see Too Bad and Spikor, Mossman. I'm like, God.
I am Spikor. Or however his fucking voice was. It was just wretched voice.
The Games is probably by far his most embarrassing episode. At least in Visitors from Earth, he doesn't say anything. He's just there to be an imposing, henchman. Christmas special.
No consistency with him either, with his hands as trident and things move around. It's like, what the hell is...
hands change. I don't know what they were thinking when they put together. It's Lou doing his voice, but I'm sure Lou probably had something more better in mind when he was doing the voice for Spikor. So I guess whoever was in the sound editing room putting that voice together was, I don't know, out to lunch, or I don't know what the hell's going on. I
felt like they gave up on some of them.
A better Spikor voice. There's a challenge for him. I would love to see Grimbot put together a better Spikor voice, because that and Tube were by far the most offensive voices of the second season, I think. Can you guys come up with anybody else that had a more offensive, oh god, this is bad. This is really bad.
Just like earlier when you were mentioning Too Bad, Too Bad, I did not enjoy fucking Too Bad's voice. At all.
It makes you think, how rushed were you when you were doing those voices?
How
many were you trying to crank out in a day? Just do something different.
You're right. I think they've done so many. It's like they're probably thinking, what can I do that would really sound different? There was sometimes when you'd hear a voice, it's like, boy, that sounds pretty much just like He-Man or just like King Grandor, but it's a different character. It's like,
but
it has to be a part.
That didn't come off as a letdown, though. When Lou would do, King Randor and Stratus, I think there's a different. Clearly there's similarities, but I feel like it's different enough to where you feel like it's not clearly Lou just doing Lou, like just speaking directly. Like there are some variations, I think, in those voices, and I mean,
Mechaneck's voice change pissed me off too. I didn't like the change in Mechaneck.
I hated that when I saw Search for a Son. Search for a Son was not bad, but Here the Skeletors Everywhere, he's got that really whiny Lou Scheimer voice. I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. Like a guy with a mechanical neck should sound very robotic. Much like how he does in Disappearing Dragons, and I don't know what they were thinking. Why they couldn't just keep the same voice? Oh, I'll never understand that.
The worst voice for me, though, in the whole series, not I guess I'm going to jump to another one. I have to go to Princess of Power. It was Comic Cat. When we seen Assault on the Hive.
I forgot how he sounded, honestly.
You like, hey! It sounded like, what the fuck is that? I mean, I was expecting like some kind of intimidating. My God, it's a monster. He's a big ass fucking.
Well, see, Snoutspout was the same way too. I thought Snoutspout was
Yeah.
Yeah, that boy, it was an insult. Oh God, I was so pissed. I love the Meteor so much. I was so excited to hear him talk, and I was like, wait, that's it? Like, are you guys serious? I don't know why they did it. So if anything,
well, I mean, that's got to be disappointing because I'm assuming as kids, when you had the figures, you had your own voice in your head of what you were thinking that they sounded like. So I'll pass that to both of you, and Newt, feel free to jump in on this as well if you want to. What voice were you hearing for Spikor and Too Bad? And if you can, try to do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just kind of give an idea.
I never really had a specific voice, but it was always a menacing approach. Like, up until I would hear Webstar, Cobra Kai, and Whiplash in the cartoon, it was just kind of sounding tough. But fortunately for those characters, I was very happy with their voices. But Too Bad, especially, they look so vicious, especially Bluehead, which was my favorite of the two, because he reminded me of a vampire. Like his look, just even though both of them have got sharp teeth, but Bluehead always reminded me of a vampire when I was a kid. And just I was so devastated when I got that entire VHS set, and I was fast forwarding through episodes trying to figure out what episode, who was in what episode. Oh, Too Bad's right here. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Fast forward to the next episode. Oh, Whiplash is this episode. Oh, a Spikor. Oh my God. And you're just disappointed left and right. Like, I've waited all these years to hear what these characters sound like, and they sound like shit. Cyclone had a pretty cool voice for a brief moment he's featured in Here the Skeletors Ever. I can't remember how he sounds in Beauty and the Beast and whatever, but it was not good enough. I felt like that last tier of characters were severely shortchanged in their portrayals and the voice acting, and that's what makes it so much more devastating. Is that you wait, you can't wait to hear what these characters sound like. And the only reason I knew it was for that beautiful painted ad of the He-Man animated series in Star Comics. Joe knows the ad I'm talking about, where He-Man's holding his sword out, and you've got Webstor, Too Bad, and Whiplash on one side, Stridor, Cyclone, Mossman, and Roboto on the other side. Like, all these guys are in the cartoon. I've yet to see this.
You know what? I'd have to show you, Tyler, that cracked me up.
Oh my God, his voice sucks too.
I'm gonna try to find the piece. There was a piece that cracked me up. It was for oh my God, was it Argentina? It was a different country that took that picture and only used select characters. And when they wait, fuck, I don't want to ruin it. I'm just gonna find it. I want you, Nathan, just keep talking, because Tyler, I'm gonna send it.
Just talking. I think this is just code for the hookers are getting too loud.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning of this. I know, and we've talked about this before, with Tyler being disappointed with Skeletor not being in it. But once again, this is like its biggest strength. I like that we're going on a different adventure. I like that it starts with the Game Master. I didn't want it to sound like how Tyler was saying it. But the Game Master, it starts out with him just trying to, what about Ram Man? What about Beast Man? Wait, no, there it is.
Yeah.
And just
love it.
Building to that and having that great aspect. And I can't imagine what this was like watching it as a kid when the Power Sword is taken away. Tila's gone, and Adam's like,
It always
man,
makes
what
you
am I gonna do?
anxious. You're always
Anything to
anxious
do
when
with
you
the
see
power
it.
sword was a big deal to watch that as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So between the whole arena fighting, you have a guy who's in control of all of this, the power sword being taken out of the equation for most of the episode, and then having a lot of these newer characters and just different. And that's what I loved about this so much is none of the familiar. It all felt new and fresh, and it's like I like this concept to begin with anyway, and you're implementing this in there, and then you have the whole thing that Newt was alluding to earlier about how it really does open up how Tila feels about Adam and He-Man, and you get a more dynamic of their relationship, and it builds that up more, and that is a testament to Paul Dini, right? Like it has to be.
It is,
He's the
and
one that
he's really good at hitting those good emotional moments. Like, I mean, and it took just a few seconds of animation to convey those thoughts and emotions between Tila and Adam and Tila and He-Man. It didn't take away from the whole episode. We're talking seconds of animation, and it told us everything we needed to know to play off of that.
Yeah.
You know, he does it so well with Mystery Manny Faces, with showing the internal struggle that Manny's going through. I mean, from being an asshole to being a broken man to like, look, I don't want to hurt anybody. You know, I love that. And then of course Tila's Quest, which is the absolute masterpiece. You know, just the writing, the direction. I mean, it's a full ensemble cast. You know, with everyone who directed the episodes and storyboarded and everything. But the scripts are some of the most touching scripts, I think. I mean, anytime I watch those that I just mentioned, like they were like, I mean, outside of Larry DeTillier's work, they're some of the most, I think, emotionally driven episodes.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally agree with that.
And I just like to call out all those schmucks out there who just like to slam the show because they think it looks gay, you know, or it doesn't hold up, and just because you lazy assholes are too busy to. I just it's heartbreaking to know the show is not embraced more and appreciated, not just because I grew up on. I like it because of nostalgia. No. That's not good enough. This show deserves to be held up on a higher pedestal in terms of animation, but people don't want to take time to actually watch the fucking show, and it shows. They stick out like a sore thumb.
Well, do you think that would be the importance of picking out the right episodes to show them the best?
Absolutely,
the best?
and I've done it with some people. You know, people that have asked me questions about what if I would like to give it a shot. And I will give them a list of like heavy hitters. Like if you really want to have a good idea of how good the show is, watch these 3 episodes or watch these here. And you know, they all came back saying that they really enjoyed those episodes. You know, not that it made them diehard He-Man fans, but
yeah.
But everyone sees me as the He-Man guy. Like, you know, in our area, I mean, people know me as the He-Man guy because that's.
I told you guys.
For fuck's sake.
No, don't do that again.
What is that? What's that reference?
No.
You know,
She doesn't
He-Man,
have to
you
say
being
it.
He-Man.
I don't. No.
I mean, I get that anyway.
Yeah.
But
sure.
not,
I'm gonna throw up my 3 whatchamacallits.
Yeah, I get.
Joe,
I can't help it, but I get that a
what's
lot.
worse? What's worse, Joe? The chewing the hot gum or having to listen to that for like the 3rd time?
You know, I would like to say the thing with about He-Man being Tyler from Rebecca, but no, I will be honest, it was that gum. But yeah, that's a close second with the shit Rebecca.
I think I was off when you were talking about the gum. I think I was
you
off
were?
with it. I don't think I was here when you were talking about the gum.
Well, I did. I
Well-
ran a little bit, and I said, and you were one of the people that did contact me and said, "Are you okay?" Because people thought I really fucking had an issue.
Yeah.
You know, saying I can't breathe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's not much else to say.
Yeah.
Joe bitched out, and he was conquered, and
I'll admit it. I always said I don't play the tough guy role. When there's something hot, I'll admit it. That it was hot, don't fucking touch it. But I've been trying to find that fucking picture. Keep going. I'm getting pissed.
Yeah. You just keep sitting there looking like you're dying or something because Grandma's wanting to check on you. One thing that really stuck out to me, and I think it once again is just another check mark for the writing in this episode, is when I was watching it the whole time I'm like, all right, well, what convoluted weird way how is he going to get the sword back? But when I saw it in execution, I'm like, you know what, that's actually pretty.
Say how it happened, Nathan.
It's very well done.
Say how it happened too, so everybody can get the gist of how important somebody is. But go on.
Well, yeah, it goes back into Joe's whole thing of like, you know, there are times when Orko isn't fucking up, and when Joe brought that up, when I was watching it, there was a part of me. It's like, all right, is Orko gonna mess anything up? So, to your point, like I do think that there is a stigma on that character for a lot of outsiders and casual viewers that get that impression. So when they watch this, they're waiting for it. Luckily, it didn't happen this time. So he uses a spell because he's up there, Tila's up there, and they're with the game master, and he gets the ropes off of his hands. He gets them off of Tila's hands. Tila hops down. And what's the name of the creature? I'm sorry.
Bearman, or you mean Craigox?
Yeah, there you go. So he's got his tail that shoots beams out, and it hits Tila, and the sword goes out of her hands, and that's when Adam runs up, and you're like, all right, well, she's kind of knocked out, but then wouldn't Game Master see him change? But that's when Orko goes up there, casts a spell. And then we have this, what do you say, drapes, I guess?
A very large.
And he also used spell like to blind the eyes of that fucking creature too. I thought he did a spell to flash blind him there. So Orko was doing a lot of shit.
Yeah, so
pissed at that moment. It's like, fuck you guys, you know.
Yeah.
It really was. He just cuts loose, and him going after Craigox, like that was a ballsy move. Like, even though it's just flashing lights, he just seems like we're not doing this shit, you know. Get He-Man in here, he's gonna kick all your asses. So I just love the take charge attitude Orko had in that. And I also blame the stigma too, that people are just, it's like that assumption people have on the outside that any 80s cartoon sidekick is obnoxious. Like, I think it's just the stigma that's painted on a lot of.
I never got that. And people love to throw him in with Scrappy Doo for some reason. Like, oh, he's fucking stupid as Scrappy Doo and is worthless. Like, really? Where? Where do you guys get this? Like, I never got
that. Are we watching the same show?
Right.
Scrappy Doo is really fucking annoying.
I used to love him
really
as a kid,
annoying.
though. I thought anytime Scrappy Doo is in the show, but I haven't watched Scooby Doo in almost 30 years. I always liked the monsters when I'm like, oh, it's a human. I was really hoping it was actually going to be a real monster, not just.
Was it ever a monster in one of those?
It was the amusement park, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think every episode it was, just a fucking person. I was like, I don't know if they ever had an actual fucking ghost. So again, I'm not a Scooby Doo expert, so I know people probably listen like, Joe, you should know there was this and this and this. Maybe they'll say it in the chat, but do you remember any fucking real ghosts in that show?
I don't think so.
No, it was. I think it was always just, oh, here's this person playing tricks on everybody.
Yeah, almost probably trying to downplay the kids. There are no real monsters out there. It's always someone dressed up in a costume.
Always old man somebody. It was always
and they would have got away with it too.
You meddling kids.
If it wasn't for those meddling kids. And the only thing Scooby-Doo related these days is just people are like, haha, you look like Shaggy. I'm like, yeah.
You do though. So hey, Rebecca,
That's the first time I've heard that.
And Joe could be Scooby.
Yeah, because I do like my Scooby snacks and eating. You bet your ass.
Joe could be Shaggy. Joe is Scooby. He's like taking shits all over the place and eating.
Am I the only person that? I know I'm not. You guys can really be honest here. Am I the only person that thought that sometimes dog food looked delicious and you wanted to eat it? I mean, it really did.
Joe.
No, I mean it looked really good, and it's
here we are.
Especially when you'd give them some of the gravy and bits and the shit in that can.
Oh
like,
my God.
Delicious. It looked
Joe,
delicious.
how much?
When I give my cats food, I want to throw up because it's
giving the shit.
When I give my cats that same kind of food, I want to throw up because it smells so bad.
No, I'm telling you, something.
No, it smells good. You're wrong.
Joe and his palate, man. Joe's like a raccoon eating out of the garbage. There's nothing. Everything tastes great out of the garbage.
Well, I guess we have to ask now, Joe.
Never out of a can, but I've had dog biscuits. Because I just
when you say that, though, are you sitting there on the couch with a box of dog biscuits, like milk bones, and just eating them while you're watching, the evening news or some shit?
No, when I'm tempted, I'm looking, and if somebody says, "Hey, why don't you eat that?" I was like, "Well, fuck. Am I going to say no? It's just a biscuit. It's a dog biscuit. It's not like it's poison." And I ate it. I was like, "It's not bad. I'm not going to eat them, but it wasn't bad."
What did it taste like?
It has a real especially when you have like the kind of the hard biscuits. It has just a dry. Like, it's like a lot of organic shit put together.
I don't know. Joe's probably chipped a lot of teeth.
No, it's like health food stuff, but.
Well, I mean, look at his mask.
Yeah.
I've had some rabbit treats because my sister has a rabbit, so I want to try. She gives her.
Oh my God.
Let me explain. No. The rabbit has.
Let me
treats.
explain. It's not what you think. I ate rabbit food.
No, she has this bag of treats it's called yogurt drops, and they smell real good, and they're blue and red flavored. I was like, they smell good, and it looks like candy. Well, it didn't taste like candy, but I mean, I gave it a shot.
How did Joe not get abducted by someone who's like offering him just damn near anything? The guy could have picked up a damn rock and offered it to Joe. Hey, this is edible. Why don't you if you get my van?
It's free
Oh,
food.
I know. I just had to go on that side rant, but it's really good. It is. I swear.
Imagine
Sometimes
I could
Joe
see,
wants
like-
to get like a full case of pedigree dog food, and he's like, "Oh man, it's on sale this week.
see,
Or
even
this weekend."
M3 gave a good comparison of what dog food's right. You're right. He said he's had doggy bones. This is they're dry as fuck, but he said it reminds him of a Triscuit. That is it. I can see what you're talking about. It's real
It's
dry.
almost like, I don't know, they're meant for dogs or something.
Well, if they are, but I mean, you
Do
can
you
still
eat Frosty Paws too, Joe?
Frosty Paws. What's that? No, I don't know what
Dog
that.
Ice cream for dogs?
No, but
They come in a
that
little
sounds
cup.
interesting.
They used to kind of get in Bible school with you eat them with like a little wooden spoon kind of thing.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember those.
Yeah, but they make them for dogs. So they're peanut butter flavored.
I bet you'd be pretty good. I mean, they're using.
Oh, I'm sure you'd eat it.
Well, it's real ingredients. They just add a little weird stuff for the pets, so it's not like you're eating anything that's
No,
contaminated.
they
My
don't put
granddaddy
certain
had it.
flavors in it because cats and dogs can't taste like sweet things. So they don't add certain flavors to it.
See, Rebecca, next week you got to have some of your cat food. What do you think? Get some cat
I'm
food.
not.
No,
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 I refuse
come
to
on,
do
man.
that. That's just gross. Not that it smells gross. I have not.
Hey Nathan, you got dogs. Eat some fucking dog food.
I draw the line.
Yeah, well, it's
Let's
like
give
she's
it
doing
a
like
shot.
the Harry Carey from Saturday Night. Hi, everybody. Thanks for going to eat some dog food. He's just sort of shaking like Harry Carey. That's the only that Will Ferrell ever did that was any good. Was his Harry Carey impression.
God damn it, Joe. Why are you the way you are?
I don't know. I was real protective of food growing up, so I like trying
I
all
imagine
sorts of
Joe just wore like a really dirty loincloth and he just runs around the back alleys and he's like some sort of dirt gnat boy or something like that. He scratches his head with his foot.
I bet he could.
Real low.
Joe seems
He's
pretty
swinging from
flexible.
people's clotheslines in the back alleys like Tarzan.
Oh shit. All right. Well,
I could see him. I can picture it. He walks into his sister's house, just got the rabbit and everything, and he's like, "What are you feeding that thing?" And he goes and sniffs. It's like, you know what? That smells pretty good. Can I have some? And it's like, okay, I guess. He wolfs it
It was
down.
Will you
almost
go
like
away?
that. Well, the thing is, when I go over to my sister's and let's say I do something around the house, fix something, whatever, go visit.
Give your rabbit
The first
food.
thing
Fix
I go.
something. Wait, you go and steal her food.
No,
That's
the
what
first-
you're meaning to say.
He's
The
breaking
first thing
stuff
I
as
do-
he's leaving. Like, see you next week.
Oh, you did fix this.
I like that.
She's probably
Yeah.
she's not even there. He just shows up and it's like, what's she got in the fridge? Oh man, I'm gonna eat
No,
that
I
today.
like what Rebecca said. I break stuff when I leave. Could you picture? She calls me a day later, like, Joe, for some reason the mailbox is broke. Could you come fix that? Sure, I'll be
Yeah,
right
Joe's
there.
outside with a baseball bat shattered in the mailbox. Well, I'll go over here and fix that next week.
Because he gets paid in food.
Yeah.
The first thing I do is when I come in her house, I do go to her kitchen, and she's like, "What are you gonna
Of
go
course
get
you do.
now?" She knows to have stuff there. She actually, those maraschino cherries. She'll specifically buy a
maraschino
brand.
cherries.
Yeah, she buys a brand new jar because she knows when I come over, I'm gonna come over and get a spoon and just eat like almost the whole jar, and then
You
I
just
can't
like
eat
drink
all like
juice
that.
too.
oh yeah, the juice is real good. You could
Oh
drink
my
that like
God.
like fucking water or something. Oh my god!
I don't drink the juice, but I do pour it over ice cream.
See, drink
I
it
don't
next time.
drink
Rebecca.
it.
You'd love
Oh,
it.
I can't. It's too
Good.
Drink
sweet.
it. Ah, God.
Too much.
Drink it and eat cat food. Oh man.
It's refreshing. well, as for back to this episode, I guess if anything, I will round it up with giving it a rating from 1 to 10.
Your family makes sure that they have extra food in their house because they know that you're coming over.
It is sad. I feel bad. That's how it is. But
No, you don't. You don't
I
feel
don't.
bad about it. Come on.
well, I mean,
At least you're fixing stuff, or even if you're breaking them.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude,
It's like
see,
Chris
so it's
Farley
like
in the Gap skits. Lay off me, I'm starving. And just
Oh god,
Right,
I was
exactly.
just watching a Chris
Is that
Farley
what this
documentary, and I saw the
What was it?
Tom Arnold thing, and I was like cracking up because I was thinking of Jill.
Oh, you eat those French fries, and
I'm
then you grab
starving.
one. We just kept eating more. Yeah,
Oh yeah, and he's like,
starving.
Joe.
oh, I
That's
love
Joe.
that skit.
I will for this episode out of 10. I give it a 10. I loved it. I couldn't pick on it like I like doing just to fuck
easily.
with Tyler sometimes. Yeah, I give this a 10. Fantastic
agree with
fucking
that.
episode.
Yeah, it's a perfect score for me too. It's a
I'd give it an 11 if I could.
There
I
you
was
go.
trying to one up us here, huh?
I will.
If you say 9, Nathan.
I will give it a 9. I will give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
And I will tell you why. There is one thing about it that did kind of bother me, and it was the overuse of the Game Master's laugh.
Huh?
I don't think it was overused a whole lot.
Well, I mean, for me, it reached that territory in the same vein of like how you have gangsters in cartoons, and they're like, "See," like at the end of the sentence. It felt like every line of dialogue that he had at the end, he had to do his laugh. So I'll knock off a point for that. Sorry if that offends anybody.
No, I'm trying to figure out like.
I didn't remember that much laughing.
Yeah,
I guess it didn't really.
He really doesn't do any laughing until like the later half of the episode.
I don't know. I feel like he laughed a little too much.
I'll have
That's
to go
just
back
me.
and watch
That's
it.
just me.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got
I don't say that as a problem because I didn't think he laughed that much. So if Nathan felt that he did, then hey, it's better than Joe saying that Buzz off sounded like the cause. So I'm not.
That's another voice I hated in He-Man. Holy pissed! It's Bill Cosby doing the voice of Buzz Off. Everybody go back and listen to him. You know I'm right. God, what a horrible fucking voice
I
for
can't wait
Buzz
to
Off.
slam Joe's head into a wall.
Thank you. The first thing when we meet, like, Tyler, here we go, man. Time for a bro hug. And he slams my fucking head. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
Like Arnold,
What do you got?
Slamming that security guard's head in Terminator 2 against the wall.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
What do you got? What's his review? What does the Reverend say in that book?
Well, first, I would like to do the trivia for it as well. That way, if you guys go and seek this episode out, you can start to pay attention to some of this.
It's on YouTube right now, people.
All of them are. Go watch them. Many alien characters were designed for this episode, but never actually used. The Game Master's 3 main warriors are referred to in the script as Bear Man, Insect Man, and Humanoid. So, like as you said, I feel like this was the first time that a lot of people really got names to faces. The android horse, which we also didn't talk about, seen in previous episodes, a friend in need, and the royal cousin appears once more, though on this occasion, Prince Adam calls it Strider. This would be a prototype robot horse, as Stridor was being developed by Mattel and would not appear until Origin of the Sorceress.
Yeah,
The two giggling ladies in the palace grounds, which seemed kind of manly to me, were previously seen in the episode City Beneath the Sea.
Yeah, one of them was voiced by Lou's wife, which has kind of more of a manlier tone in her voice. You know?
Yeah, it had like someone's been smoking a pack a day kind of thing. Finally, some small pieces of dialogue in this episode were changed from Paul Dini's script during the recording session. So I'd be kind of curious to see what those were, but here is the review from the Reverend himself. In this episode, Paul Dini once more crafts a beautiful tale by exploring Teela's relationship with both Prince Adam and He-Man. The way in which he does this is extremely clever, not once falling into the predictable traps that come with writing this type of episode. The dialogue between Prince Adam and Teela is beautifully written, and in their brief scene together, we not only get to see her affection for him, but also, as she describes it, his charm. Even though this episode becomes an action-adventure story at the beginning of the second act, the script somehow maintains its quality, delivering an ending that is worthy of the character dynamics that have been established, and he actually gave it a lower rating than all of us, 8 out of 10.
He's got to come on here and redeem himself after that.
Talk to James about that shit. It's not acceptable. Not acceptable
I get so
at
pissed
all.
off with some of his ratings when I read his book. Like, what the hell?
Was it the manly women?
Hey, that could have been it. Maybe he felt the same way, that the Game Master just laughed a little too much.
He didn't say that, did he?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, is there
I
another
would have read
page?
it. I would have read that if he said that, Joe.
So you got me all worked up. And Tyler, just to let you know, I couldn't find that fucking picture for whatever reason. I couldn't find it. It's just I think what they did was they took part of Stridor and they didn't realize that that's a horse, that the part of the face was from Stridor's face, and they kept it on the background to make as a helmet I couldn't remember if it was for Roboto who was standing there. I was like, you thought? Oh no, Cyclone. Yeah, I think it was for. Was it Cyclone's head? I'm trying to think of whose head was right there, and they thought it was part of the helmet. I was like, oh, that was terrible. So when they drew the art, that's all you've seen, and everybody else is missing except, of course, He-Man in the front. I was like, who thought that? But it was in some country. I cannot find the fucking picture, and I thought I had it saved here. I was going to send it to you. So, well, so much for that, and me trying to show you that's there.
Nah, don't worry about it there, bud.
Yeah, I just want to show you because I get annoyed when I can't find shit. So, quick.
Conquered by the hot gum, and now you can't find this shit.
It was, and now I'll say for the chat, if you have any questions for us, pop it up here in the chat room. And I guess I see one already right here from Brian Brummagem. He said, question for Rebecca. I have seen pictures of you as She-Ra and Adora, which are really beautiful. Have you done any other female characters from Masters of the Universe and She-Ra?
Not yet, but I plan on doing Aaliyah, Teela, of course, and Sweet Bee.
No, Frosta? What's the matter with you?
I want to do Glimmer, too. But I'm like, I want to do a mixture of the toy and the Filmation one, because I really liked her coloring on the toy, but I liked her overall look in the Filmation stuff. So I want to do my own, like, Glimmer design.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of badass, I want to take this little segue here that Rebecca finally watched Cobra Kai.
Whoa!
I'm on season. I just started season 3, and I'm like, oh my gosh! I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it's so good.
Oh my god, we got her!
Good, I just seen it.
And I originally was like, I started watching it, and I'm like, I don't need to watch the movies, but now I really want to because I'm so invested in these characters.
You never watched the movies? You've never watched any of the Karate Kids? What?
I've never seen one Karate Kid movie.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
It's all right, Joe. It's gonna be fixed, and at
like...
least she watches the shit, and she doesn't be like, oh well, there was rabbit food to eat at my sister's, and I lost track of time.
Oh my god, I'm just kind of floored. Have you seen My Cousin Vinny? Have you seen that? I hope. My Cousin Vinny?
What?
Have you seen My Cousin Vinny? No, not my real cousin. It's a movie. Like, I don't know who your fucking cousin is, Joe. Could you picture she don't know?
Well, you never seen the Vinny Amato.
Her face, like, what? I love that expression. Like, I don't know your fucking family.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I've seen Cousin. It took me a minute to realize what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah,
I love that face.
Yeah. I love Chris Farley.
She's doing that on purpose. Chris Farley. Chris Farley? What? Stop it! Is she doing this on purpose or is she trying to piss me off? I can't tell.
She's doing her best Joe Amato, Tom Arnold impression there. Joe Amato is Tom Arnold.
I got it. I'm still gonna screen cap.
Cobra Kai is fucking awesome. And I had no like nostalgia or any connection with Karate Kids, so yeah, if anybody's on the fence about watching it, even if you don't care about those movies, like watch it because it's such a good fucking show. I'm so in on it.
Every person I have ever spoken to who has not seen it, and you talk them into watching it, they come back having binge watched the whole damn thing. Yeah. And they're excited for more.
It was last week. It was just last week that I told you guys I would watch it, and I'm already on season 3. So in 1 week I've been watched.
I must have zoned out or something like that.
When's the next season of Stranger Things coming out? God, how long is this going to be until we get it? I thought that was supposed to be this year. When's Stranger Things the next season coming? Any news on that?
It's in 2022. They just dropped another trailer for it.
Really?
Yesterday or the day before, yeah.
Here you go. Yeah, summer 2022.
Oh my god, we gotta fucking wait that long. God. What about Cobra Kai? When's the next season of that?
New Year's
Eve.
New Year's Eve, excuse me, yeah.
Oh no shit. Okay, good. That's good. All right. Okay, Johnny Cock has a question. He's like, you guys get to plan a special geek wedding reception for Rebecca and John. What craziness do you serve, decorate, etc.?
We don't let Joe pick the catering.
I was gonna say Joe gets his own little buffet section to keep him occupied.
Well, he gets to plan it. He doesn't get to pay for it, so he gets all the best food and
All right, Rebecca, here. No. Let's say I'm gonna give it to you. That's right. If I was to pay, if I actually did, I'd spend you'd be lined up with them burritos from fucking Dollar Tree. You'd also you get 7. That's right. 7 pot stickers you get in a bag. Chicken pot stickers from Dollar Tree. So I could just sit there and fry up like 100 of them suckers. You'd have all these pot stickers.
No, you're not gonna be the chef too, Joe.
Well,
No.
I'm saying, but you'd have pot stickers. You have bean burritos. I'm sorry, not bean burritos. Beef burritos, no beans. So they have the beef ones there. You could have ramen. You got to have Popeye's chicken. You have to have that.
Oh my god.
I think that might be pretty much it. And then any of the dollar candies at Dollar Tree, you can line them all up too. And I think that might be it.
Why?
It's food. They said geek wedding.
Well, I mean,
what
else?
would you put
See,
in there?
Joe's thinking about himself. He's not thinking about others.
Yeah.
He did say serve and decorate.
It was a majority
Oh.
at his wedding.
And see, he had service, so I gave the serve and decorate. You could just decorate some good fantasy theme. I'd make it good for you. You'd have some fantasy. It'd be like being in a fucking Conan movie. How awesome would that be?
Construction paper
Okay.
being used.
See, I made up for it. There, go ahead, you guys. You're giving food and you're gonna decorate for Rebecca. What do you do?
Fuck, man. I don't know.
We're not
it would
even
be
having a
decent
wedding
food.
reception, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, wait, real quick.
That's probably one thing I
Grimbot
don't like
sent.
about weddings is the reception afterwards, because those go on like forever.
Yeah.
They serve dinner like 2-3 hours after you sat down. Everyone's fucking hungry.
Yeah,
You know,
picture
oh,
me.
God.
I'm always hungry. That's real bad. Oh, Grimbot, send that picture or that photo to Nathan. Nathan put on the screen here. I remember I digitally repaired it. So, Grim, I'll send you mine when I find it maybe later tonight. But yeah, it was Cyclone. I was right. Cyclone's head, there's this curl over it, and you think he's got a weird helmet. And it's Stridor's head right next to him. So it's just He-Man, Cyclone with Stridor's
That
head,
is weird.
and then Skeletor. But it's so weird that some people thought it was a helmet. And apparently they...
Wait, so okay, okay, because you see the shadow work with the feet like in behind, but the
They
neck,
just botched it. They really botched it.
that's
See,
really
Cyclone's...
fucking weird.
Because Cyclone with his helmet, they thought it was an
Yeah.
extension and it was curling over. It's like, no, that wasn't a curl over. That's Stridor's head right there. The part of his, like the back of his neck. They fucked that up. They got confused with it.
It almost looks like Artilla or something.
They did a weird
Artilla's
thing.
badass. No one
Let's
ever
see.
talks about Artilla.
No. Oliver Belmont.
No.
No. Oliver Belmont.
Dog food.
Joe,
Rebecca
you done eaten?
Tyler.
No.
Rebecca, Tyler, Joe, Nathan. Do any of you have any Masters of the Universe comics from artist Alcala, and how do you find his illustrated work? Oh yeah, we got all the mini comics. We have all of them, and yeah, he does great work. The first 4 mini comics had the most confusing and like I said, convoluted stories.
The stories are nothing to write home
The
about.
stories, they're bad for people that
I
thought
swear,
they were great.
I hope we get our day in court to some goofball to sit there and like, oh no, it ain't Savage, people. There's nothing.
We've
super
mentioned that.
barbaric
We did
about
we did a discussion on that, and some people did go back and read. And they said you guys are right. The story was terrible. There was nothing beyond amazing art.
You follow what everyone else is saying because no one else is about taking the time to actually watch Orko, watch the series, read the damn comics. It's so much easier to just jump in with the in crowd. Say, oh yeah, because it's Savage. Like fuck you, dumbass.
They definitely got to read those first 4 again. It led to confusing stuff. Fedmon for Rebecca. I asked the guys this before and would like to hear your answer. What show under the age of 5 did you watch as a kid, and do you still watch sometimes? He said, example, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, there's a bunch. Like, they're obviously He-Man and She-Ra. There's Xena. There's Batman the Animated Series. Gargoyles. Those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head that I still watch, that I
Turtles?
continue to watch. No, I didn't watch Turtles when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
Look at the faces of you two.
Nathan, I think we're gonna have to.
Nathan looks disgusted. He's like, oh,
Get out. Get out. You're done.
her camera's off now.
Done.
It goes away. It's like, okay, there went one. Who else has never seen Turtles here? Huh? Anybody? And everybody's just
What about the
looking
live action movie? Have you seen the first live action?
Oh
Turtles
yeah,
film?
yeah.
Okay. All right. She's redeemed. If she hadn't seen that, like, game over.
Fantastic
Get her
costumes
outta
from
here.
the Jim Henson studio
Oh,
in
my
that
God.
movie.
Will never be topped.
Fedmon said,
They're still making movies and they can't make them look that good.
No, they're just all dumber in the head than a hog is in the ass.
Fedmon with a fans of Power Trivia. What important cast member was introduced in episode 161? Hint: not Newt.
Well, I mean,
assuming it's this dipshit up here.
It was Bozone.
yeah, Bozone came back.
Did he?
Yeah, that's what he had the camera back, and he was vaping all over our faces and playing the damn drums, and you know.
Well, I'm assuming that it was me.
Well, yeah, we haven't had anybody else on here that's
Yeah,
because he was gone at episode 50. He didn't come past 50. He said it was in episode 161. So yeah, he wasn't around for 161. So I guess
no,
it
I'm
would
just making. Well, I think people really have to dig hard if they want to find our episodes with Cat and Dipshit. Yeah.
Well, actually, if you just click on the links down below for the audio version and listen to the first 50, so you can get a good get the Bozone experience.
Yeah, you can hear us talk about Manny weapons. What an insightful conversation that shit was.
I'm sorry.
Me and Joe used to conspire behind his back all the damn time, and he'd show up like, "Oh yeah, so what are we talking about here, guys?" And like we would never clue him in until we're getting ready to record. And he was, he's zone out and start, beating his meat or whatever the hell it was he was doing on the other side. He was like, "Yeah, man, what Joe just said, yeah, that's my thoughts."
Did he reach out to you at all? Did he want to know the subject or anything, or is it just in his own world?
He was in his own world, going, and I don't know what the hell he was doing, but Joe was just like, we just talked to each other like, no, we won't clue him in, we won't, and it never bothered him. I swear he was so clueless about everything. I mean, we really could have just made allusions that, he was just brain dead. God, he was. I felt sorry for the guests he would have come on to his, Masters of Galaxy podcast, and they would just be, I felt bad for him. Like Larry Kenny was on there. The actor who played Ninjor from the Power Tour show was on there, and he would just disappear and vape into the camera, and he looked like his eyes were completely glazed over, really close to the camera.
Oh God!
You're like, oh my God! It was just. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to pull a Chris Paul and just crash into the nearest coffee table, and just not get up. And Larry Kenny's like, "Are we done?"
Yeah, there was an episode, I can't remember the one, but I got so irritated in one episode, and I forgot what I said to Tyler and both of them. That oh yeah, I got to do this. I had to leave, and Tyler knew something was wrong when I left. I played off I had to go somewhere to do something. Then after the show was over, he's like, "Oh, what was that all about?" And I just explained how irritated I got on the show of when I would say something, he said the same thing.
Oh
and then
God,
when I'd say something else,
about that.
There was something that just really annoyed the piss out of me. And I can't remember if we were talking about a mini comic or Fisto or what it was, but something got me so annoyed. I was like, I just can't fucking do this. And I just made up an excuse and left. I was that irritated. Like I said, when we do this, we're here to try to have fun. I don't want to seem like I'm spaced out, not enthused doing it. I know
Drinking
I sound
drugs,
insane.
just...
No, you know what I mean? I sound wired all the time. I might sound nuts, but I'm passionate and I love the property, but I would never want to do that to the fans listening. Just make them wonder what the fuck is going on. It just was, I don't know. No. It's just
that comes toys. With.
That's what it sounded like a lot of times. We do a podcast, so send me free shit. Yeah, you're just like, all right, whatever, dude.
I'm trying to look.
He didn't want us to do the podcast without him. We had to do it. If he couldn't make it, we couldn't do it, and we did it anyway. But,
Who says that?
He didn't want us to do it because he was going to go to a Kiss concert. But my dad was in the hospital. I couldn't make it. He goes, all right, well, show must go on. I was like, eat my ass.
Yeah.
So go back and
just
listen to those first 50 episodes if you want to get the full experience. This is before the stories weren't divulged about Joe and his many escapades with kissing girls at the tree and the hookers
stealing their
and dog food and all the coupon king. And,
yeah. It was straight up He-Man discussions that when we had someone who's just completely spaced out, just staring at the wall or the ceiling or a shiny object. We don't know what he was doing, but he clearly was not paying attention.
But see, you guys actually had to look at it because there wasn't like a video version of the show back then. It was all audio, right?
No, it was all audio. It wasn't until we split up from him, and Joe and I think Michael Bell, one of our listeners, said like, "Did you see what he's doing?" And I thought he was like, at the time, like smoking from a bong and blowing the smoke into the camera and just being completely oblivious. This is back when it was still like marijuana was illegal still. Not that it would have been a big deal, but he's just like, yeah, man, I'm buying toys. I like He-Man, and just like the guy just looked like he was out of his mind. Like someone let him out of the asylum. He was like beginning of Halloween. We picture Joe in his bathrobe running around stealing cars. Someone let Brian out. And
no, like I said, there was that one incident I mentioned, and a lot of others. It's just like I said, I don't wish bad on everything, on anybody. I mean, I hope the guy's doing okay, but it's just the one thing that annoyed me was also when we do, I don't know how many episodes, I would start talking, Tyler would, and I'd hear, bang, 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 bang. He'd start playing the guitar, looking the other way. It's like, why are you playing a guitar? We're sitting here talking, and you're playing the guitar.
Note to self. Bring my guitar over, plug it in, and I don't know how to play guitar. I'm just
really
gonna start strumming the shit
Especially
out
when I
of
was
it.
getting messages from people on Facebook. What was that sound in the background? I was like, oh, he was just playing a guitar. Why? I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to say?
That's more confusing when you can't see it too.
Yeah, it's just. Well, hey, if
really
we can get one more good question before we wrap it up. Anybody in the chat room, give us another question or two, then get ready to wrap it up. In the meantime, I don't think there's anything else that happened recently or as for any new stuff. So, I think somebody did they show a commercial? I thought they showed a commercial of some. Well, no, it wasn't a commercial. I can't say what I want to say. We're having a special guest next week. I don't want to talk about something. Either way, next week we are going to have a special guest, and it's going to be fun. There's going to be some good shit on this episode, and then we can dig more into obviously why I'm dancing around the whole thing. I don't want to mention it, but next week it's going to be five bits of shit going on. Hopefully nobody's camera freezes. I'm probably the one that'll have a frozen camera at some point if it's too much for when we always have 5 on the screen. But it's going to be a great guest, a great topic. I encourage, of course, all you guys to tune in next week. Rebecca, anything you want to say before we wrap it up that you want to mention or no?
No.
Okay, no. How about you, Nathan? Nope.
Never shuts up.
All right.
No, I can't think of anything really new.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know. God, I felt like there was something I'm fucking missing. I swear there was something about a toy or some shit. Oh, I thought there was something new on a pre-order. I hate that when I can't remember something. So I guess there wasn't, because you guys aren't jumping in.
Oh, there was Wave 2 of Silverhawks.
Oh, I
that got announced recently, but I think we already talked about that too.
I guess there wasn't. No, well, there must not have been nothing recent. And JSP said he asked a question earlier. JSP, I did not see it, so I apologize. So I think that's it. Nobody's popped up anything for final questions.
That's it.
Yeah. So with that being said, make sure you guys like.
I like how he's just wrap it up.
I'm gonna have to. There's no last question. So if what the fuck am I saying? Lost my train of thought. Holy shit! If you guys are new to this,
way to go, you old bastard.
Son of a bitch. See, if you would have sent me a fifth one, Rebecca, I would have been in business while she's picking the poop out of her cat's butt. All right, make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring that bell so you can be notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day. Oh, that wasn't the cat's butt; it's his face. Sorry.
He's gonna have like a sugar crash. He's just I'm gonna go.
We're running head first into the wall all night.
Yeah.
And his tidy white skid mark on over like heifer on Rocco's Modern Life.
Was that the episode when they got the satellite TV and they get consumed by it?
Yeah, and Heifer's brain goes and it gets lost inside the TV, and Rocco's got to go in after. So Heifer's like flying around the house in his underwear.
Yeah,
it's funny as hell.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That episode stuck out to me a lot.
Yeah. That was a good one.
So, yes. So since I said have a powerful day, Tyler, go ahead and quote.
Hey, you get a good look at a T-bone and stick your head up a butcher's ass. Wouldn't you rather take his word for it?
Tommy boy, here we go. Yes.
No, wait, that's got to be your bull. I love that scene.
All right.
He's probably laughing at David Spade because he's like bombing during that sales pitch. God, it's so funny.
I need to watch Tommy Boy and Black Sheep again. It's been far too long.
Yeah, Chris probably falls
those
into that
movies.
coffee table at the beginning of the movie. That's doing the podcast with Bozo. Like, just watch that scene. That's what doing the podcast with him was like. Except we weren't laughing when he fell through the table. We're like, what the fuck?
Oh shit! See you guys next week.